Our project is on the Mediterranean diet and its effects on cardiovascular disease. The Mediterranean diet has shown to have a strong correlation to preventing CVD. The question our video is answering is, does following the Mediterranean diet decrease the risk of cardiovascular disease? The main purpose of this video is to advise and educate a broad audience on the Mediterranean diet and its potential benefits in preventing and managing cardiovascular disease. What is the Mediterranean diet? The Mediterranean diet is a diet consisting of fish, chicken, few eggs, very little red meat, and large amounts of monounsaturated fats, such as whole grains, vegetables, legumes, feta cheese, plain yogurt, olive oil, and fruit. Under each category, there is a list with examples. How to follow the Mediterranean diet. To build an effective Mediterranean plate, start by filling your plate with almost all vegetables, grains, and beans. This can be lightly drizzled with olive oil. Then add a small serving of your favorite type of fish, pair it with a glass of red wine, and enjoy your meal. This pyramid here gives a visual representation as to just how much of the Mediterranean diet consists of fruits, vegetables, grains, and healthy fats. It is also important to notice that being physically active is another key role in the prevention of CVD. Having a glass of red wine a day is also a preventative measure of CVD. Notice how red meat and sweets are a part of the smallest portion of the pyramid. Keeping these items low in intake helps keep saturated fats to a minimum in the Mediterranean diet. This is a recipe that follows the Mediterranean diet if you are looking for any type of inspiration. You can find more simple recipes just like this by searching up Mediterranean diet recipes. There are many health benefits while following the Mediterranean diet. Some include preventing heart disease, keeping you agile. It is shown that some nutrients gained within a Mediterranean diet may reduce your risk of developing muscle weakness. It can reduce the risk of Alzheimer's, decrease the risk of obtaining Parkinson's disease, increase longevity, and protect against type 2 diabetes.
What is cardiovascular disease? Cardiovascular disease is a broad category that consists of many disorders and is the leading cause of death globally. Some of the risk factors of cardiovascular disease are high blood pressure, obesity, diabetes, and high cholesterol levels. Cardiovascular disease is a broad description for disorders caused by the heart, and it is the leading cause of death globally. Nearly half of Americans today are projected to die from cardiovascular disease. Types of diseases that fall under the cardiovascular category are coronary heart disease, cerebrovascular disease, peripheral arterial disease, rheumatic heart diseases, congenital heart disease, deep vein thrombosis, and pulmonary embolism. History of protective effects of food on cardiovascular disease. Many foods, not specific to, but including the Mediterranean diet, have positive effects on the body and overall health, especially cardiovascular health. Certain foods have, for many years, had a positive correlation as preventative measures against many diseases, including cardiovascular disease, cancers of many types, obesity, and cognitive degeneration. For example, one study of over 600 patients who had previously had heart attacks showed that patients who followed the Mediterranean diet had a 50 to 70% reduced risk of recurrent heart disease compared to the participants who followed the American diet. History of protective effects of food on cardiovascular disease have shown that it lowers blood pressure, increases overall vascular function, and decreases weight. Weight loss allows for a greater capacity of exercise, which improves overall health, increases HDL levels, and decreases the risk of cardiovascular disease. Foods also have a history of improving lipid concentrations, but that will be better explained in depth with the Mediterranean diet and its correlation to cardiovascular disease specifically. What is HDL and LDL? HDL stands for high-density lipoproteins, and LDL stands for low-density lipoproteins. HDL and LDL are transport molecules for fats and cholesterol, which are also used as markers of coronary heart disease risk. You must keep balance between LDL and HDL to prevent cardiovascular disease. HDL is considered to be the good cholesterol because it picks up cholesterol from dying cells in arterial plaques and return it to the liver to be used to synthesize bile. LDL is the bad cholesterol, which can cause plaques in your arteries, causing them to harden and narrow.
So, after discussing the specifics of the Mediterranean diet and cardiovascular disease, we need to tie together how the two are correlated. And it is proven that the foods in the Mediterranean diet are known for decreasing inflammation, decreasing LDL levels, and increasing HDL levels. And it is believed that those who follow the Mediterranean diet have a decreased risk of obtaining cardiovascular disease. Evidence from many articles and studies support that the correlation of the food criteria in this diet are indeed beneficial for decreasing the risk of cardiovascular disease in individuals. So, how does this happen? Well, a giant part of the Mediterranean diet is fish, and fish provides omega-3 that decreases blood pressure, increases HDL levels, decreases clotting, and in addition improves vascular function, lowers triglycerides, and improves circulation. So, omega-3 is a fatty acid that provides many health benefits to our bodies. The metabolic benefits of omega-3 are listed above, and they also overall decrease inflammatory conditions. And obtaining omega-3 also increases HDL levels, as stated above, which in turn decreases the risk of cardiovascular disease, as we learned earlier in the class. Omega-3 is found in the Mediterranean diet through fish like salmon, mackerel, halibut, sardines, and herring. And it can also be found in shellfish like crab, shrimp, and oysters. So another big part of this diet is whole grains, legumes, and vegetables. And these parts of the diet provide dietary fiber, which is beneficial to avoid fat absorption and lower cholesterol levels. And the richness in legumes, nuts, fruits, and vegetables can modulate gut microbiota, which influences production of metabolites. And there's also an increase of short-chain fatty acids, which are shown to protect against cardiovascular disease by decreasing fatty acid synthesis in the liver and decreasing cholesterol levels. So after all our research on the Mediterranean diet individually and cardiovascular disease individually, and then connecting the two together, we came to the conclusion that although cardiovascular disease is caused mostly from genetics, eating Mediterranean diet is one way to potentially prevent and reduce risk of developing it. While the American diet can be convenient, and tasteful, it is also a leading factor of cardiovascular disease diagnosis since it consists of many foods with saturated fats and few foods containing fiber. The Mediterranean diet consists of the opposite, containing low amounts of saturated fats and high amounts of fiber. This is further supported through the vast difference in cardiovascular rates in countries such as Italy and Greece that predominantly follow the Mediterranean diet versus rates in the United States. Making the switch from an American diet to a Mediterranean diet may be beneficial for anyone, but especially those who are already at an increased risk of obtaining cardiovascular disease.